EHG, what's going on today? It's about 3 o'clock. I wanted to come to you guys real quick with something I was thinking about after my last appointment that I had about 30 minutes ago. Is dealing with making them feel a little uncomfortable. You know, when they say no and they give you excuses. I think it was Vincent on the call before said, you know, we need to make them feel a little bit uncomfortable. You know, I agree. We need to make them feel a little bit uncomfortable, tactfully make them feel a little bit uncomfortable. And I think it's really, if you're having trouble or problems doing that, I think it's two main reasons why, you know, somebody might be timid or a little fearful of making somebody feel uncomfortable. Okay. And the first reason is that you don't know and you don't love our product. Okay. That's probably the first reason why you feel timid when it comes to making them feel a little uncomfortable. You know, we have an awesome product. Lincoln Heritage, FCGS combined, we have an awesome product. You know, the two things that really separate us from anybody else is the written guarantee of the 24 hours payout to the beneficiary, and also the FCGS. Wonderful product, FCGS. You got to know that product. You got to know the FCGS. You got to know it. You got to remember, if you've been to an FCGS meeting, when they play those calls with people crying on there and how we're helping them, you got to know it, you got to feel it, you got to love it. Because when the client comes at you with, I already have insurance and, you know, what can you do for me and all this kind of stuff, you know, I don't care if they have 19 policies. You don't have Lincoln Heritage and FCGS, and this is what we can do to help you. And this is why you want to get a policy with us, even if it's a small policy, because of the peace of mind and because of everything that comes with it. So you got to know our product, you got to love our product, you got to feel our product. Don't sit there and be timid and be all, oh, they have insurance, what am I going to do? No, if you know the product and you love the product, you can speak from the heart with why our product would actually help them. Okay, that's the first thing. You know the product, love the product. The second thing is, you're hungry without any business in the pipeline, nor do you have anything set up for the week. What I mean by that is, you're not going to work. Okay, you don't have, you know, business coming in daily or every other day that you have set up from last week and a couple of days ago, where you're getting checks or you're getting deposits in your bank account, and then you have, you know, 10 appointments set up for tomorrow, some set up for the next day, you know, 6 more to run today. You don't have any business going. You don't have any work set up. You don't have a flow going. So you're fearful of losing this one client, this one application that you're probably not going to get written, you know, so you're fearful. So you don't want to hurt them. You don't want to make them feel uncomfortable because you're scared of losing that business. Well, you know what? I mean, you're not doing something unethical. You're not lying. When I say make them feel uncomfortable tactfully, that means, you know, with truth and with reality of what goes on out here when someone passes away that doesn't have a FCGS program helping their loved ones out. What happens? Okay, you need to let them know what happens and what their son, daughter, or whoever is going to face if they don't get if they don't get our product, our services. Okay, you need to let them know that. But you're scared because you don't have anything else in your pipeline. You have one appointment for today. You're not really doing anything, and you got to have this sale, and everything's hinging on it, so you're kind of scared. You know, if you had, I'm just going to throw Dwayne Lucas. 13 apps that he wrote the other day. Okay, do you think if Dwayne wrote those 13 apps and he's going to see his last client on the way home, and he stopped by there and he's talking to her, you know, and knowing Dwayne, he's going to give her the same great service that he gave the first client the beginning of the day. He's going to give her some good service and talk to her and about what she needs and how we can help her. And do you think he'll have any problem making her feel a little bit uncomfortable if she's making excuses and him and hawing or whatever? Do you think he'll have any problem? He has 13 apps over here stacked up, ready to send off the next day. His confidence is, he doesn't have to worry about, you know, money's not an issue. You don't have commission breath, none of that, because he has business coming in. Probably have appointments and BECs for days off of those. So he has things coming up. He has no problem, no reservation in telling that lady what's what and what's going to happen if she doesn't. But you got to have that. You can't have one appointment and then you're scared to say because you're scared of losing that. No, you have to have that going there with authority, with knowing what product we have, what good company we have, and you have things in your pipeline. So those are two things there. Oh, and one other thing, making them feel uncomfortable I believe you should always make them feel a tad bit uncomfortable, even if they say yes, even if they purchase a policy from you. Make them feel uncomfortable. And I know you're like, why would I make them feel uncomfortable if they purchase? Because you want to still drive home the point that, Ms. Johnson, you want to keep this policy. I'm glad you took out this policy. You want to keep this into effect. Your son, your daughter's going to love you for this. Everything that you say or whatever. So make sure you keep that. If you have any problems, you make sure you call me. If you see any problems going wrong, because we want you to keep this, because you don't want to lose this. Because if you don't have this policy, this is what's going to happen. And then you drive home the point of what's going to happen if she let that policy lapse or changed her mind or went with another company or something like that. You want to go ahead and plant that in their head now that they did a remarkable thing, a good thing they did, very responsible. Everything's signed. You had the check. Everything is good. And Ms. Johnson, this is going to go into effect today. You're good to go. I'll be contacting, your son and your daughter to introduce myself to them, let them know who I am, go over these forms so they can help you fill out the forms out and everything. Now, you want to keep this. Remember now, I'm your insurance agent for life. So you got any questions, you give me a call. You have my card. You give me a call. We're going to stay in touch with me or whatever, because I want to make sure this stays on the books. So, Johnny and Sally, they have nothing to worry about. You've done the responsible thing. Plant that in their head that they've been responsible and they don't want to go back on this, or they don't, other companies, nobody's going to be around to help them with other companies. But now she's a member, she's into the family. We're going to help her son and daughter when the time comes. That's the kind of uncomfortable feeling you want to plant in her head, is the fact that if she lets this go for whatever reason, this is what's going to happen. So that's it. Just want to drop that off with y'all or whatever. Think about that. Think about that. The reasons why you are, if you feel a little afraid to make them feel uncomfortable, it's probably one of those two reasons. So you got to get to know our product. You got to love our product. Get to know it, love it, and then you got to get things in your pipeline. You got to get business going, things in your pipeline. Get yourself set up for 10 appointments tomorrow. BECs to go see, people to go see, where you have a lot of activity planned ahead. So if they don't get an insurance policy, side note, if they don't, you better come away with maybe a BEC. Even if they don't get one, come away with a church, come away with something. But if they choose not to, it's not the end of the world, and you're not with commission breath begging and begging and begging. You want to drive home your points concise, with love, with enthusiasm, and with just, I guess, conviction. I don't know. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. Holla at you.